level of thinking that is absolute. And what we're demonstrating today is that even though this guy is in like every history book and one of the most famous people in history, he was wrong. He was wrong, at least as far as we can tell, right? Because there isn't this realm out there that your thoughts derive from. We already talked about where your thoughts derive from. Where do they derive from? Your brain.
Cerebral cortex.
Yeah. And even more in depth, I guess, right? Where does your brain come up with the thoughts?
Mom, wait, what? No, I thought you were going to go somewhere else with it.
Interesting, your mom joke.
No. Let's think about this first. Well, I mean, like, you know, you're from, so, wait a minute.
Who's a really good drawer? Is there any good Who's the best drawer in the room?
You, Mr. Graves!
Graves!
Can you draw? Are you a good drawer?
He went to art.
Well, we know he's the best drawer.
Yeah, that was so quick.
He literally is a minor.
That looks just like
This is almost as good as my smiley face Play-Doh that I drew.
What is wrong with this?
Yeah, guys, we gotta give
It's pretty good.
I'm really glad you went for an art degree.
That's a sick burn.
Hey,
Why do you care?
I get to care.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
you have to stop.
Hey, Mr. Graves, you should be Mr. Simon.
Yeah, for the longest too, I was looking at it. I was like, wait, that's a whiteboard.
Thank you.
I thought it was.
That looks like just the guy like fresh. Like that. The Gollum, yeah.
So, if I get your attention, think about the things that we've been talking about for the past. Okay?
She's got it done. One hand.
I'm afraid to go home.
Think about these ideas that we've been talking about today. This idea that all of our thinking originates from other thinking, the relationships between ideas, the relationships that develop between ideas because of, I think it was Jeremiah that said it towards the very beginning of the lesson, our experiences. So think about it this way. Right here is Joe Schmo, and he has lived this far. And he also has ideas about the future. Where do those ideas come from? Pattern recognition from the past. He's experienced, 35 years. He has all of these experiences that he's thought about and has feelings about. And so he can then take his experiences and he can apply them to consider the future. Okay. Pattern recognition. The relationship between ideas, right? Ideas, they don't exist on their own. They only exist because of the experiences that we've had in the past. Which is why it's so easy for us to disagree, especially when you think about right now, there's like the presidential race, right? And if you're anything like me, sometimes you get fights with people you love because you have different ideas. Right? And why do we have these different ideas that seem so obvious to us? How do you not? Perhaps. Right, but it's because, right, even though your idea might seem so obvious to you, you have this different past where you've built up these different ideas, these patterns that you've recognized, and someone else has different ones. Now, I did have one more thing for us, which we don't have time for. So I'm just going to throw it to you as a question. If we had more time, what I was going to play is like a 15, 20 minute Radio Lab. You guys ever listen to Radio Lab on the radio? It's on NPR. It's just like a weird, it's like science and It's just odd. It's just like an odd program. They talk about weird stuff. They had an episode where they talked about a man who had no memory. He was in an accident. He got sick. He got sick and he lost his ability to create new memories. And he couldn't really remember anything about his past. And so, just think about this for a second. Think about these ideas, this pattern recognition, this idea that all thoughts are relational in nature, all words are relational in nature. What would it be like to be a man with no memory?
I don't know. It's so boring.
Think about it for a second. Think about it.
We can't think about it because we wouldn't have any thoughts.
Say that again, Jeremiah, and explain what you mean, because that's right.
We couldn't think about it because we wouldn't have the ability to form and think again. So there is no possible way we can think formally and thinking about this because we wouldn't be able to think about it.
Not necessarily a vegetable, but yeah, go ahead, Royce.
But at the same time, I mean, our thoughts are based in our past, but there's some part of us that still creates ideas, no matter what our experiences are. It's just the way our nature, the way that we are. And kind of the way our brain, because we may forget our memories, but even what we do and what we think changes the way our brain is shaped and formed, and that can still affect our ideas.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, please.
I'm trying to be funny or anything, but could you forget how to breathe?
Breathing is
That's a question.
It's kind of built into your brain.
No, dude, you can't.
If you get it cut out of your brain,
You don't have to think to do it.
Does anybody know for certain, like, how to answer that question? Yeah. It's an interesting question. Right? So I guess this sort of final thing that I want you to think about, right? This idea of the man with no memory. If he can't remember his past, if he has no pattern recognition left for him to base decisions on, then hypothetically anyway, we don't know for certain, right? Us, we don't know for certain. But it seems to me, if you have no past, if you have no ability to recognize patterns from your life, you can no longer plan anything. You can no longer think about the future. Right? Well, if you're thinking about the future.
But if we don't think about the future, then the possibilities open up. We're allowed to think outside our memories. So we're allowed to formulate by ourselves on a blank
Jeremiah's excuses are too.
that now is impossible.
So, final thought then. Jeremiah said we could be blank slates. My hypothesis to you is there is no such thing as the blank slate. Right? Everything comes from somewhere else. All right?
this is true.
Just think about it. It's something for you to think about.
But then if we look back and further enough, we're
Thank you guys. Thank you for doing this with me. I really appreciate it. I look forward to seeing you all out in the world. Where we can be regular human beings.
Do you shop at Trader Joe's?
I don't know how to turn it off. It's still recording.
Is it seriously? Did it just record indefinitely, like once you started it?
Yeah.
Good job figuring it out, because I have no idea how to do that.
Just off, on and off.